talk about a project that I'm working on with another artist named Lauren Zydekow, and it's called 50 Green Space Dumpsites, which documents 50 dump sites in the city of Pittsburgh that are in green spaces, so in public parks, Little League ball fields, cemeteries, walking trails. These are all places that are kind of in quasi-public places. Kind of how this project began was we read an article in the Post-Gazette. They mentioned a group called Allegheny Clean Ways that goes out and does cleanups of illegal dump sites in the city of Pittsburgh. You might have heard about them. They're getting a lot of press lately. We called Allegheny Clean Ways, talked with them. We thought, well, we were looking for a project where we could photograph together, so we thought, let's call them and talk with them and see about getting some information about the dump sites and maybe going out and doing a project about that. What that led to was they gave us a binder where it had all their documented dump sites, which turned out to be a little bit over 300 illegal dump sites in the city of Pittsburgh. They're estimating that only 1/3 of the dump sites have been surveyed so far. So there's really more like 900 illegal dump sites in the city of Pittsburgh. We're not talking Allegheny County, we're talking just in the city. So we're talking about a massive amount of data. And what we did with that was we plugged it into Google Maps. And what that led us to was we started looking at these sites, we started thinking, how are we going to go out and photograph all these sites? And what we realized that there were, I think it's like 53 dump sites that are public parks and green spaces in the city of Pittsburgh, and we decided to focus on that. The first few times we went out to photograph, we made lots of pictures that we're not using anymore. Because what we decided to do was make kind of beautiful pictures of these places. And then what we did was try to pair it with information about that illegal dump site. So what you're seeing on the side of this, which is hard to read on this projection, but it gives you the location of the dump site, whether it's what neighborhood it's in, what part of the city, north, south, east side of the city. And it also tells you what kind of trash is at these dump sites. Some range from, there's a lot of contractors' waste out there, general household garbage, some have medical waste, so it depends on where you're at, what you're seeing at these dump sites. Frick Park's actually a Christmas tree dump site, strangely enough. But you go out and you see all these different types of dump sites out there, different types of materials. So what we decided to do was we were making pretty pictures of these places, and then we would pair it with information about that site. And we were also putting a little QR code on there so you could scan that code and it would take you to a website that's going to show you pictures of the trash at the dump site. So kind of the idea is to be a little subversive, to show you kind of a nice picture of one of these locations. And then it usually leads to the question, why are you photographing this? What is this about? And then you tell people it's an illegal dump site. So the idea, part of the idea is to bring awareness to this problem and to talk about it and to get people interested in it. And the website that we're working on developing right now, not only is going to showcase these photos, it's going to show the pictures of the garbage, but it's also going to have a little thing where you can report an illegal dump site. It's going to have an educational component as well. So as we're going through these, I've kind of talked through, at least 10 slides at this point. We're seeing a number of different locations throughout the city. So we're seeing, right now we're seeing a park, like a playground on the south side. And what's happening with these is either the dump site is actually in the location of that park or it's right on the perimeter of that park. So we're seeing like the dump site here is like right over here in the woods, right next to this community garden on the south side. So in there is a lot of construction waste, bricks, lots and lots of shingles. Someone got a new roof. But there's lots of clues that kind of like lead you to these dump sites. You start seeing areas that have wooded perimeters, kind of like this photograph here. Any place that's kind of like a steep hill might have trash there. So hills, wooded perimeters, areas kind of in between spaces. Pittsburgh has a lot of these because of our terrain. So we're seeing over the sides of these hills, there's lots of dumping. You'll see treated lumber. There's all sorts of little signs that are going to lead you here. Sometimes it's yard waste. And I think there's a misnomer out there that people don't think, if I go and dump my yard waste, I'm not really, illegally dumping stuff. But, you dump a tree that's, several inches thick, that's going to take 10, 20, 30 years to decompose. That is illegal dumping. So I think there's some misnomers here. It's just a part of the culture. So one of the things we've also been looking at in this project is how do you change the culture around dumping? I have no answer for that at the moment, so if you have any ideas, throw them my way. But one of the things we've been talking about is how do you change this culture about dumping and then what surrounds it in those neighborhoods. And it also, there's really no socioeconomic boundaries that we're finding in this. You're going to find these in wealthy neighborhoods. You're going to find these in poor neighborhoods. They're everywhere that you're looking in the city. So you can go to the website, you can find out more about this project and what we're doing with it. I'm almost at my last slide, so I'm going to slow down a little bit here. I'm going to slow down, keep going, mad pace. What?
Willie Nelson is
Willie Nelson is, okay, I'll keep going. John Denver, okay. But we're almost at the end of this, but as I was saying, illegal dump sites, City of Pittsburgh, there's a big cleanup effort going on out there. There's people that go out every day of the week and work on cleaning up these spaces. So it's easy to be involved if you're interested in this project as far as if you want to go out and clean up the spaces. We're also working on getting the project out there as well and to tell people about it and to educate people about the problem that's going on in the city. So I'd like to thank you for coming. Once again, I'm Christine Holtz. My project is 50 Green Space Dumpsites. It's a project with another Pittsburgh artist, Lauren Zydekow. So feel free to ask me any questions that you have. Thank you.